Good morning. Welcome to 4x8 Paper Stuff. This is Beth. This is going to be a quick video, obviously, because I have a massive sinus headache and I watched too much about the fires yesterday. So, today we are talking about bare rocks. And I decided that one of my stamps that I made, my homemade stamps, could be pebbles. Now, we've touched on that before, and even though that sounds a lot like, there was another one, bones or stone, which I might do later, I'm still, these were phrases that were mentioned in the video, which is what I referred this project to, which was a video on Reno's PBS channel about sea dragons. And all of these phrases I took from that video. So they mentioned it a few times. I'm going to do it in my journal a few times. It's my journal and I'll play if I want to. Anyhow. So, because I was thinking, I can't keep repeating the same thought process. But they did, even though it was like several different people interviewed. But this whole video is based on that video and what I learned from that video and how I want to explore what I learned even farther using a field note section and an art section of a journal. That's just all I'm doing. That idea came to me in the middle of the night, and sometimes you got to run with what comes to you in the middle of the night. So this is my interpretation of bare rocks. And bare rocks sometimes grow flowers. Sometimes they have other vegetation in them. They provide little caves if they're shaped right and arranged right for little animals and or big animals. There's a lot going on with bare rocks. Now, I don't have the qualifications to tell you what kind of rocks they are, but I might be able to tell you what's growing around them, what is their coloring, what is their shapes, and that's what I attempted to do this morning. So, in reality, I'm playing with paper and paint. The whole artistic poetry aspect of it is me covering up for the fact that I'm just playing with paint and paper and glue and having a grand old time. And I started to try to make a little bit of mark making in other places, but I'm like, I love the look of it. I cannot execute it very well, in my opinion. But I can add a contrasting color, a hugely contrasting color, and these could be shadows on the bare rocks. Capiche? Capiche. So, and at the same time, I'm kind of like doing a lot of other stuff on pieces of scrap paper laying around with the old remaining paint on my brush or in my little palette tray thing that I have right next to me. And everything, if you're standing still in my craft room, you're going to get painted. Sorry, that's just the way it goes. But then I was kind of looking for some paper that I could add a contrast in the rock formations. They're not all the same color. They're not all the same kind of shapes. But so I went into my little 4-inch paper journal that I used to clean off a paintbrush and or play with, and I made some other rocks that have more of a pearlescence element to them, which you see a lot of times in rock piles, as if you were moving some of those pearlescent looking rocks or pieces of rocks to go dig your gold or go do the mine thing or go find a sea dragon fossil. So my bare rocks have pearlescence in them now, and then there might be some fossils, like, some weird looking things that you see in the rocks also in bare rocks. So I added that also, and that's how these bones were found. But and I'm kind of doing colors that, in my opinion, don't go together, like the pearlescence and the yellow and the greenish paper and the mustard color, sienna, whatever. And then I'm adding a little bit of flowers, because sometimes flowers grow in rocks, amazingly so, even in the high desert. Then, of course, there might be gold flecks in your rock, in your bare rocks, or in the bare rocks that they came across. And there was. So a little gold crept in. And then I kind of left it for a minute and went on a book page and painted some more flowers with some more leftover paint that's still, I squeezed out too much black. I know. But I'm seeing, these junk journal people for Junk Journal January and seeing all the different. Basically, I'm using my scraps in a tiny little bit of a different way this time, and um, cutting out, leaving some of a border, but cutting out my flower shapes that are going to go on my bare rock pile, and or the bare rock in the side of a cliff or wherever it might be in the uh, Ichthyosaurus State Park, and just you know adding a few more layers to what layers are already there. And I don't do this a lot. Once I get to like a painted place that I love, I stop. But maybe I need to take it a little bit farther because I like this. So you can add stuff on top of a finished project. I'm saying that in air quotes because I thought I was done. And I'm like, no, I'm not done yet. I don't think I'm done yet. So because I have leftover paint, I can't be done. You can't bounce checks in a checkbook if anybody still uses a checkbook. If you have checks left. So I can't be done if I have paint left, right? So in the end, I love how it turned out. And tomorrow we're going to do science joins art, which could be along the same lines of what we've been doing, but that's okay.